Good afternoon. In continuation with the earlier class, we are going to see now a case of alkalosis, and that also metabolic alkalosis. Why in pyloric stenosis metabolic alkalosis occurs? But first, pyloric stenosis, there is some stenosis. Stenosis means narrowing at the pyloric region, as a result of which there is stasis and HCl is eliminated from the body because of persistent, prolonged vomiting because of this obstruction. So why metabolic alkalosis develops? Now, as we had seen in the previous class, alkalosis would mean increase in the pH. And it is called metabolic when the bicarbonate concentration would rise. You see, this pH can rise in two conditions. Either the numerator, that is bicarbonate, either this rises, or the denominator, that is partial pressure of carbon dioxide, that falls. So metabolic alkalosis तब बोलते हैं when the bicarbonate concentration would rise. Now, deceptively simple, because the students tend to say, since HCl is lost from the body, and HCl is a strong acid, and therefore alkalosis develops. But that is wrong, because alkalosis, metabolic alkalosis, means increase in the bicarbonate concentration in the blood circulation. So how does that occur? That is purpose of this class. How persistent vomiting leads to increase in the bicarbonate concentration in the bloodstream. For that, we will have to see how HCl is secreted, generated and secreted. All of you must be knowing that in the parietal cell, HCl is not produced. Cl minus and H plus, they are secreted separately, and in the gastric lumen, they combine to form the HCl. How H plus is generated, this is an important thing we have to discuss. Carbon dioxide and water, this is showing a magnified view of the parietal cell. This is a magnified view of a typical parietal cell, this one. And as you can see, carbon dioxide and water combine initially to form H2CO3, and which is the enzyme having maximum turnover number, carbonic anhydrase. And it dissociates to form H plus and bicarbonate. H plus is secreted into the gastric lumen, and chloride is also secreted into the gastric lumen, where they form HCl, of course. Now, bicarbonate so generated is reabsorbed into the blood circulation, and it's actually an antipode system in exchange of chloride to maintain the electrical neutrality. So from the bloodstream or the extracellular fluid, bicarbonate moves out and chloride goes in, giving rise to chloride, intracellular chloride, and they form HCl in the gastric lumen. So this is the normal sequence of events. Now, what happens in pyloric stenosis? Pyloric stenosis, more and more HCl is eliminated. So more should be the generation of HCl. That also means more should be the generation of H plus. So the whole sequence of these reactions is pushed towards the right. So more and more formation of H2CO3, and more will be dissociation of H2CO3 to give rise to H plus and bicarbonate. So this reaction is pushed towards the right. More H plus needs to be generated, and it is generated. But an important point, जैसे ही H plus generate होगा, an equimolar amount of bicarbonate will also be generated. So this bicarbonate is now absorbed into the blood circulation. So evidently, bicarbonate concentration in the bloodstream will increase. So I repeat, the whole sequence of events starting from here will be pushed towards the right, or rather it is pulled towards the right, because HCl eliminate hua, more HCl is to be generated. So more H plus needs to be generated, and whenever H plus is generated, bicarbonate is also generated. So bicarbonate concentration in the bloodstream will increase. And that is what we precisely mean by metabolic alkalosis, increase in the bicarbonate concentration. Just for completion's sake, what is the compensatory mechanism? How you can restore the pH? This can be done by increasing the PCO2 concentration. So patient will hypoventilate. In contrast with diabetic ketoacidosis, metabolic acidosis, where the patient was hyperventilating, here there will be hypoventilation. So that is all towards this deceptively simple question, why metabolic alkalosis in this condition. Thank you.